Hello students, in the previous class we have discussed about cytoplasm and we have also discussed about what is the importance of the membranes with the help of the example of viruses, and then we have also started the topic cell organelles, and we have just seen the introduction of the cell organelles. And I want to recall that the cell organelles are those structures or those structures which are found inside the cytoplasm, and these are membrane bound structures which are found inside the cytoplasm which are doing specific functions. So cell organelles are the specific structures which are membrane bound and are found inside the cytoplasm. So we are going to study them one by one. So the first cell organelle that we are going to study today is the endoplasmic reticulum. So you can see the topic. So we are going to study the endoplasmic reticulum, and we are also going to study the structure of ER. ER means endoplasmic reticulum, the types of the ER and the functions of the ER. Okay, so we are going to study these three things in today's topic. So let us begin with the endoplasmic reticulum. Now, as you can see the name endo means inside. Okay, so endo means inside. Now, plasmic means what? Plasmic means inside plasma. Plasma means cytoplasm. The content of the fluid content of the cell is cytoplasm. Okay, so inside the cytoplasm, reticulum means network. So what is reticulum? Network. So what is present inside the cytoplasm? Network. A network of what? Network of membranes. Okay, so inside the cytoplasm there is a network of membranes, and this network of membranes is called as endoplasmic reticulum. So let us discuss about the structure of the ER. Now, if you see here, this is all given in the NCRT. I've just made the notes from the NCRT. So the endoplasmic reticulum is a large network of membrane bound, means they are formed by the membrane. So it is forming a large network of membrane bound structures, and these structures are in the form of number 1 tubes, number 2 sheets, and number 3 they are in the form of bags or vesicles. So you can see, so the endoplasmic reticulum looks like what? It looks like either in the form of tube or in the form of sheet, or it can be in the form of round bags which are called as vesicles. So if you see the structure of the endoplasmic reticulum, you can see this is the endoplasmic reticulum, this is a sheet like structure. So I will draw here, this looks like a sheet. Okay, and then this one is looking like a, this looks like a tube like pipeline you have seen in your house. Pipelines are there, they are called as tubes, and this look like sheet. And there are other structures which are not given here, they look like round bag like structures which we call them as vesicles. So basically the endoplasmic reticulum is having three types of shapes. Okay, so what is the first shape? It look like tube, or it look like sheet, or it can look like bags. Okay, so the structure of the endoplasmic reticulum is made up of membranes, and these membranes can be either in the form of tube or sheet, or it can be in the form of bags. Okay, now the second point is the ER is similar in structure to plasma membrane. Now what does this mean? Similar in structure to plasma membrane, it means that it is also having lipids and proteins, because plasma membrane is made up of lipids and protein. So the membrane of the ER is having, or it is made up of lipids and protein. Now why it is made up of lipid and protein, that you will come to know in the next part. Now let us move to the next part, that is types of ER. So there are basically two types of ER. Number one is rough endoplasmic reticulum, that we call as RER, and number two is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, that we call as SER. Now if you see the diagram, you will automatically recognize that there is a difference, there is some difference between this ER which is shown with the blue color and this ER which is shown with the gray color. Now here you can see it is written here smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and here it is written as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Why rough? Because you can see there are some dots on this surface of this endoplasmic reticulum, and these dots are made up of ribosome. If we see them under the microscope, we will see a structure which is called as ribosome, which is attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now in your higher classes you will learn that ribosome is also an organelle. Okay, but this ribosome is not covered by any membrane, and I gave you the homework to find out the organelle which is present in the prokaryotic cell. So if those who have found out, I will tell you the answer. The answer is ribosome. So ribosome is the organelle which is present in both eukaryote as well as prokaryotes, because the ribosome is not covered by membrane. So ribosome is present in both eukaryotes as well as prokaryote. Now here ribosome is associated with the endoplasmic reticulum also, and if the ribosome is attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, we call that endoplasmic reticulum as rough endoplasmic reticulum, or in short we can call it as RER. And if there is no uh, ribosome attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, we call it as smooth endoplasmic. So this is the basic difference between the rough as well as the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So you see here RER looks rough under a microscope because it has particles called ribosomes attached to its surface. Okay, so if there are ribosomes attached to the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum, we call it as a rough endoplasmic reticulum, and if there is no ribosome attached, then we call it as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now because of the ribosome, the functionality of the endoplasmic reticulum also changes. So the ribosome, which is present in all active cells, are the sites of protein manufacture. So always remember that proteins are basically manufactured by the ribosomes. Since these ribosomes are attached with the rough endoplasmic reticulum, so rough endoplasmic reticulum also produces proteins. Okay, so the manufactured proteins are then sent to various places in the cell depending on the need using the ER. So ER is also doing what? Transporting of the proteins. It is not only manufacturing protein, but it is also transporting the proteins. Now let us move to the SER. What is SER? SER is the smooth which does not have any ribosomes attached to it. Okay. Now what is the function of the SER? It helps in the manufacture of fat molecules or lipids. Now these fat or lipids are very important, and we know that. Now you see here the lipids are manufactured by the SER and the proteins are manufactured by the RER. So some of these proteins and lipids helps in building the cell membrane, because cell membrane is made up of, I told you, lipids and proteins. So this process is known as membrane biogenesis. Sometimes the cell membrane is broken, it is ruptured, or maybe some injury is there, so repair is needed. So a new cell membrane is made by the RER and SER. Okay, now RER makes proteins and SER makes lipids. So these lipids and proteins together repair the cell membrane and forms a new cell membrane, and this is called as membrane biogenesis. Okay, now some other proteins and lipids function as enzymes and as well as hormones. Okay, so the proteins function mainly as enzymes, and some of the protein can be functioning as hormones. Now what are enzymes? Enzymes are the chemicals which are used in various chemical reactions in our body. So basically, like for example, you have studied that digestion takes place in our body. Digestion means breakdown of complex substances into simpler substances. So this is an example of a lot of enzymes are used in digestion. What they do? They basically break down complex food into simpler food. And about the hormones, you have studied in ninth in your 8th class that hormones are the chemical messengers. They are produced at one place and they work at another place. Like for example, growth hormone you have studied in your 8th class. Okay, so these hormones and enzymes are also made from proteins and lipids. Now let us move to the next and very important part, which many of the students don't read properly. Although ER varies greatly in appearance in different cells. So ER varies greatly in appearance in different cells. It always forms a network system. So what is this network system? This network system is called as endomembrane system of the cell. Okay, so this network system is called as the endomembrane system of the cell. Now what does this mean? Network means including many things. Okay, so it includes, so the ER forms a network system. So ER is the member of the network system, plus Golgi complex is also a member of the network system, plus lysosome is also a member of the network system, plus vacuole is also a member of the network system. So you can see these four organelles are forming the network system. Okay, and this network system is called as endomembrane system of the cell. I hope you have noted this in your copies. Now let us move to the next part, that is the functioning of the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, one more structure, one more thing I want to discuss here. You can see the membrane of the nucleus is in close connection with the endoplasmic reticulum. This is the nuclear membrane, which is shown by the brown color, and the green color is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and you can see it is in close connection. Okay, so nuclear membrane is also associated with the endoplasmic reticulum. Now let us move to the functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. So basically, other than production of proteins and lipids, their functions are little different. Okay, now the one function of ER is to serve as channels. Okay, I already told you they help in transport of proteins. Okay, so they serve as channels for the transport of materials, especially proteins, from one part of the cell to the another part of the cell, or between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Remember that this is having a close connection with the nuclear membrane, so it can directly transport the proteins into the nucleus. Okay, so that is why they are having a close connection, and that is why they are serving as channels. Okay, they serve as channels for the transport of materials, especially proteins, from one part of the cytoplasm to the next part of the cytoplasm, or between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. I hope this point is clear. Now let us move to the second point. So they function as cytoplasmic framework for providing a surface for some of the biochemical activities of the cell. Now let us try to understand this. Now if you want to work in your home, as you are working, you want to write these notes, so you need a table, you need a surface to keep your notebook. Like your mother is working in the kitchen, she need a surface to cut the vegetables, to cook the food. So like that, these are the different activities which you do in your home. Like that, the cell is also doing lot of chemical reactions. So biochemical activities basically means chemical reactions. So biochemical activities means chemical reactions. So for the chemical reactions to take place, they should require a particular surface. So who provide them surface? The endoplasmic reticulum provide them the framework surface so that these reactions can take place. Okay, so I hope this point is Clear. Now let us move to the last point. In the liver cells of the animals called as vertebrates. Now vertebrates are those organisms which have got the backbone. Okay, so backbone is present in the vertebrates. All organism does not have the backbone. Only those organisms which have the backbone are called as vertebrates. So the SER in the liver cells, where is this SER present? In the liver cells of the vertebrates. It helps in removing poisons. Detoxifying means removal of toxic substances. Okay, so what are toxic substances? Toxic substances are poisons and drugs. Lot of poisons and drugs are removed by the smooth endoplasmic reticulum of the liver cells. Like many medicines we take, they contain lot of chemicals. Some are good and some are bad. So the bad chemicals, the harmful chemicals, are removed by the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now many of the people drink alcohol. Now alcohol is not good for our health, so the alcohol is also removed from our body by the endoplasmic reticulum. So if people keep on drinking alcohol, so their liver get damaged. Why? Because the SER present in the cells is doing lot of work, so it cannot do more work. So that is why the liver gets damaged. So I hope these points are clear. So note all these points, make notes. Thank you, students.